What is up, everybody? It is Wednesday morning, super early. I'm doing this before I go to work. I just wanted to talk about one thing real quick. Talk about this I made the wrong one visible first. Supermotocross and World Supercross. Been a little bit of controversy over World Supercross even coming out. So if you guys know, a couple years ago, the FIM was involved, which is the Federal International Motorcycle. I don't know. Federation. I think it's the Federation of International Motorcyclismo. I believe that's what it stands for. And at one point, they were trying to make a World Supercross championship, so they started working with Feld and the AMA, the American Motorcyclist Association. So at one point you had Feld's just the promoter, right? They're like putting the events together. They need, I don't know that they need, series like that typically work with a sanctioning body. Okay, so the American Motorcyclist Association was the sanctioning body. Who, by the way, what do they do anyway? What do they even do? Like, everybody runs their own races, and then they just like, we're part of the AMA series, and they just charge sign up. They charge like $250. See, they don't get any of the ticket money from the event, so all their money comes from members signing up for the American Motorcyclist Association, just regular people that are riding their Harleys down the road and could get a flat, and it's like AAA, but for your motorcycle, I guess they'll come and send somebody to help. But as far as riding, racing wise, like you just buy you buy your local license, and then once again, the track runs the event and they make all the money from the gate and from entry fees. So the AMA, being a sanctioning body, all they do is just like siphon off of the top and just be like, you have to pay for all these signups and stuff and cards. So anyway, the monopolizing factor of motocross in the United States, this is why all these people hate me. I know that, but this is why nobody will work with me, because I talk shit. Anyway, the AMA, like, they're working with Feld. Then Feld decides they're going to bring in the FIM. So now you have two sanctioning bodies. Like, what was even going on anyway? Why do we need two sanctioning bodies? Only because, this is my theory, the FIM had been talking about trying to do a World Supercross series for a while. So then Feld and the AMA are like, oh shit, we better like bring them in here with us into the fold so that we don't have a competitor. Obviously, things didn't go the way that somebody thought that they should have gone. Like, I don't know, I suppose. Like, why wasn't there a better World Supercross series once they were involved as well? Like, I don't know the red tape behind all of that, but I assume there was some kind of issue why they didn't do that, and I'm sure that's what FIM's deal was. They're like, oh, we have a World Supercross Championship. It's in the United States, and it drives across the border to Canada for one round, and then that's it. Okay. So it was kind of like a cheap, like, yeah, we're going to make a World Supercross series, but it was just like a name. But let's switch to this one. First off, Supermotocross Africa. I don't know what it is. I like, Supermotocross is a really generic name. But I get it. Like, I think this is some kind of game. Download for Mac. Super Motocross Africa. They already got games out. They haven't even started the series. No. I'm pretty sure that Super Motocross was a there was a race like way back in the day. Let's go. We're gonna go to the FIM thing first. Um, Back in the day, I think there was a race. I can't find anything now when I Google because this new series has like monopolized Google searches. I'd probably have to go like 15 pages back, but I got to go to work. So that's what it is. But so I think there was super motocross way back in the day in the 70s or something like that. So I'm sure it is kind of cool and it's kind of like a nostalgic thing as much as us people in the sport, you know, are like, ugh, it's motocross or it's supercross. There's, you know, motor. I said motocross. Anyway, okay, so here the World Supercross is really a pretty, I mean, I was going to say it's different or, you know, but they basically kind of, from what I gather, stole the format from the Triple Crowns, shorter motos. But I mean, listen, if you're trying to get Chad Reed, Josh Grant, Josh Hill, all these guys that are retired or about to retire to come out, you know what I would do? I would shorten the races. So, I mean, it also gives even a Roxon who's with the health issue, doesn't have a ton of stamina. He can still, you know, in a 10 minutes, let's say Eli, I'm sure there's other people that eventually, like once they see the speed, will understand it and start to get there. But I'm sure that like if Roxon got a good start and Tomac was stuck kind of in the pack, I think Roxon could sprint away and win one of these 10-minute races, you know what I mean? So I think the format lends itself to having more people in there. Like it basically makes it so that physical conditioning is a part, but it's not like I don't know that it's the main part in Supercross necessarily as much as it is kind of moto. Obviously you got to be a good rider, but fitness is a huge part of it. So but I like it. I think World Supercross Championship is great. They're shelling out some big money to bring some people over. I think it's going to help the sport being international. You know, like all these other people around the world, they probably, I don't know, I'm American, so of course I think they watch Supercross. Me as an American, I don't watch that much MXGP or as much as I should. I tried to follow it, but we're just up our own asses here and we don't like to watch anything else. I'll admit it. That's why I think World Supercross Championship's going to be good because you basically have it's like off-season Paris, whatever, all those races. People get big money to go overseas. So we'll learn those guys over there. Those guys in Europe that race this series will obviously learn the speed. Did I ever switch this thing? Yeah, I did. They'll learn the speed and they'll get better at Supercross as well. So it's going to help on that level. Also, like I said, I think having fans all around the world can only obviously help grow the sport. So I think that's good. I also think that like a Dean Wilson, who is an international rider, great move. He's kind of, I would imagine, towards the end of his career here anyway. Why not hop on this international stuff and the field will be a little bit thinner. I don't say that cautiously, get yelled at, like whatever. But, you know, it's not going to have all the people that are here focusing on Supercross. And again, I may get surprised by a bunch of Europeans. I don't really know. But, it's like Jordi Tixier. He's amazing rider. How much Supercross? I don't know. I know Subaros or however. Listen, on this show we pronounce stuff American, okay? So how I read it is how I'm saying it, all right? People like to go, that's not how you say it. You say, I don't know. I couldn't think of a good word fast enough. You don't, that's your accent. All right, bro? That's not how it's said. Okay, so now we're going to go to Supermotocross. Moto. I keep calling it motor cross and making it worse. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but I just keep making it worse. So, the biggest thing to come out of, let's switch back. The biggest thing to come out of the World Supercross Championship already is Supermotocross. Motocross. I won't make it even worse than it is. Dude, how long has the series and the whole setup in the United States been stale? I'll even go a step further. Like the amount of effect that the World Supercross Championship has had on us here is tremendous already. Over the last year on on Supercross and on Motocross, they would actually refer to the other series because for the last like 10 years or so, each series pretended like the other one wasn't even... What happened here? Just, I'll refresh it. They wouldn't even pretend like the other series existed. They would just be like, even if you watch some of the old shows, right? They'll have like Ricky Carmichael stats or whatever, or somebody's stats, and they just omit Supercross or the other way around. They just omit Motocross. They're just like, like that's just a different series. We don't even know anything about it. So I would say that in itself, just the fact that they got these two series to acknowledge each other and combine to make a bigger series is huge. I mean, it's the free market, right? Everybody's mad essentially, but it's the free market. And you can be mad at, capitalism or whatever, but look what it just did for American motocross, Supermotocross. Look what it just did for American Supermotocross. All right? We have a new series. They're trying something new. We'll go to the schedule. Where the hell is the schedule? Because they do now have a playoff. Here we go. Schedule announced. Read more. Let's read more about the schedule. What the hell is going on? Resume. Yeah, schedule. Bruh. Why was that so difficult? When I clicked on go to the schedule, why wouldn't it just bring me to the schedule page? Why would I then have to go to that page and then click another thing that said go to the schedule page? Delicious coffee. Livestreamcoffee.com. Okay. So you have, as you would, let's see what we got here. If we can just play it.
The top 20 riders in combined points will automatically be seeded into the 3-round SMX playoffs. A rider can also automatically qualify for the end-of-season competition by winning a Supercross main event or a motocross overall victory. They'll be placed along with the remaining in positions 21 to 30 and will have an opportunity to race their way into the 22-rider field at each playoff round.
They're like, we're going to have 20 people already qualified in from points. But if you happen to not be in the top 20 and win a Supercross or an outdoor overall, you can get in. Did I understand that right? Because what is the likelihood of somebody that's not in the top 20 of the points winning an overall? Is that what it said? I don't know. I'm not. It's early. It's like 7.
The Supermotocross World Championship events will be a 2-moto format with a maximum of 26 points for round 1 and 52 points for round 2. The World Championship finale right here at the Los Angeles Coliseum.
Now I got to do algebra. What is going on? I'm sure it's just something you need to get used to, which I like it. I'm just confused. which is easy to
team
do.
will raise the stakes with a maximum of 78 points available to the title hopefuls. The historic 2023 season will feature 31 championship events, and the remarkable athletes will compete for a record $10 million in prize money and the prestige of racing for the inaugural SMX World Championship.
I like it when they do that, when they're just like, 10 million in prize money. It's like over 31 events between everybody. It's like the entire series, which is good. I give a lot of shit, don't I? I like this. I think it's good that they're doing something different. Okay, here is the stadium. So as you could imagine, it's just Supercross, then Motocross, then you have the Supermotocross playoff, 1, 2, and then 3, which is going to be in Los Angeles. That's the World Championship. Here's my question in October. So that's basically what happened now to Monster Energy Cup, right? Like it just became the playoffs for Super Motocross. But here's my question, okay? So it's Super and it's Motocross. So these 3 rounds, are they the first 2? Like, is one of them going to be a motocross race? Or are they all going to be Supercross races? Visit supermotocross.com for more information. Is that not where I was? Bro. So anyway, we're not watching the press release. Okay. So there's been some controversy with this guy can ride this series, this guy can't ride this series, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So after World Supercross Championship announces their series, they've gotten a couple guys to come over and ride, most notably Roxon and Tomac. And they're like, we have world, what is it called? Super Motocross World Championships or something like that. Which is a new league. Anyway, after they announced that, and they're like, it's the World Championships. The FIM, let's see what it says here. FIM responds to Super Motocross Series. In light of the recently announced, this is from the commissioner who whatever made a press release. In light of recently announced developments in the marketplace, Fédération Internationale de Motocyclismo. I told you that's how it was said. The global governing body of motorcycle racing reaffirms that the FIM World Supercross Championship remains the only Supercross championship series that is recognized and sanctioned by the FIM. Whilst, that's a great word. The AMA and Supercross championships are successful domestic championships in their respective own rights. These domestic championships do not combine to score points towards any official FIM-sanctioned world championship, as this is entirely contrary to the exclusive rights granted to SX Global as the exclusive sanctioned FIM World Supercross Championship promoter. No other sanctioned world championship exists in the sport of Supercross, and no winner of any other competition will be acknowledged as world champion by the FIM. So, like, go ahead, call it a world championship. We don't accept your world championship. We don't accept it. Do you see how the sanctioning body game is like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just them going, we don't accept. It's like the Democrats not accepting Trump's nomination, and then the Republicans not accepting Biden's not nomination, but winning the thing. It's like you would just but the record books will show that this series had a championship. The sanctioning, like, why do you need a sanctioning body for these races? Anybody. You know what the interesting thing is, and this is, I'm getting off subject, I'm going to wrap it up real quick here, but like if you, so you have a motocross track, you could be AMA sanctioned motocross track. If you do not have AMA sanctioned races, what are you called? An outlaw track. There's no law that you got to be sanctioned by the AMA. There's no laws saying that we have to have some kind of governing body over the race or the series. You know what I mean? It's just the way that it's all presented so that you think that you're like, oh, we can't do that, you know? Anyway. Okay, so that's it. I think that the world, listen, I am a capitalist. I am all for the open market. Listen, open markets have given us a lot of good stuff, and this is one of the things that it's given us now. Is Supermotocross. Whatever. It's something different. We have 3 races to watch at the end of the year after our series typically end. We can make these monkeys dance 3 more times for our enjoyment. Go monkeys. Start off at the gate and then race each other around for our enjoyment. More every year. We need this series, Supermotocross, to get up to 50 races a year. That's right, there's 52 weekends. That means I got 2 weekends I have to occupy with other stuff, with going outside of the house and seeing people. The rest of the time, I can just stay inside and watch Supermotocross. Both of them. All right, people, let's give your, what do you think? I mean, like I said, I think it's good. I think Supercross going international is good for the sport in general. I think it's great for those athletes. I think that the World Supercross Championship forced motocross and Supercross to work together and come up with a bigger series for us to enjoy and a new formats. The sport had gotten a little bit stale, and that's why they started doing why can't I ever think of the friggin' 3 race series? Whatever the hell it's called, Race of Champions, where they do 3 races. I don't know why I can't think of that word. The Triple Crowns, damn it. So they started implementing that just for something different, right? So that's it. I think it's good. We need change. Change has to happen. The old people or the people set in their ways, which most people are going to be upset about it, but that's just how it goes. So get over it. Change needs to happen. We need to bring new fans into the sport so that we can actually get on TV and don't have to chase these stupid apps around, or we get onto an app that works or something. I don't know. Also, it would be nice if whenever, I mean, the apps get rid of the next problem. Next problem is when it's on regular TV, you go to switch to it, and next thing you know, college volleyball is on, women's, which if it were going to get bumped by anything, women's college volleyball would be my choice. But it's like, I wanted to watch Supermotocross. Motorcross. I'm cheesing it up. Okay, that's it. Happy Wednesday. Don't hump too much today. And leave your comments. Do you like Supermotocross or World Championship, whatever, World Supercross Championship? I do. I'm pumped about it.